it doesn't, oh well, the Kit guys are just gonna have to be silent for a bit. But yeah, so apparently in this video, at about 12 minutes and 45 seconds in, I make a cameo. But we'll see about that, you know, we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, let me know if the audio quality is perfect so you guys can actually hear the video. I always have audio issues with streams, so just let me know. Ah yes, the language of the Boer people. What do you mean Boer people? It's Boer, not Boer. After all your nines, I thought you were German. Yes, ethnically speaking, I am German. Because the Boer, the Afrikaner Boer population of South Africa, has been split up into, I suppose you could call it, three main demographics. About 50% of them are descended from the Dutch, 40% from the Germans, and about 10% from the French. So I thought the Boer are Dutch. Almost. I just explained their, you know, genetic makeup. And so I am from the German line of the Boers. So even though they are predominantly Dutch, it's more like, you know, half of them Dutch, and then like 40% is from the German, and then 10% is from the French. French, grr, yeah, I know you hate the French, but the French who came here 400 years ago and who have lived here as Boers for the last 400 years, they are the last heterosexual French people left on Earth. So we have to treat them with respect. You know, they're kind of a rare commodity. They're like an SSR legendary pull, you know, in terms of French people. They're like the only base French people to ever exist. They don't eat snails or any sort of weird thingamabobs you'll find in the French restaurants. They eat the boerewors roll, they eat the biltong, and they're happy here. And they're also like, on average, like 6'2", which is pretty huge, even for French people. Yeah, we're like one of the tallest people groups in the world, which is pretty nice. However, the world was not built for tall people, sadly. Yeah, like, I've always hit my head on things because I'm like 6'4". Just trying to like bend down just to reach door handles that are like the height of my knee, which is pretty funny. Like at government buildings here in South Africa, I went to like not home affairs, but there was some place I had to go that was affiliated with the government for some reason, and so their office doors had the door handle more or less by my knee, and I had to bend down just to open up the door. Thank you for explaining about the beer, people. It's boer, not beer, not boer. B-O-E-R. Boer. Afrikaner boer. Like boerewors. Not boer, not beer. It's oer, not ear or oer. If that makes sense. Bongo, people. Speaking of bongs, there was a funny story that happened in my high school. So, the one day, the entire piping, the plumbing for the boys' toilets was just completely clogged. And so they had to fork out several thousands of, you know, bucks to get that repaired. 6 falls a lot. I'm surprised you managed to find a schoolgirl outfit that size. 9! I did never wear the schoolgirl outfit. Anyways, and so after spending the money to, and it was a lot of money to get the plumbers to come and, you know, repair and replace everything, what they found in there was pretty funny. So one of the notable items was empty wallets, you know, implying that they, you know, got them without permission, took out the money and just flushed down the wallet, you know. No evidence of the crime whatsoever. And the other thing that they found was monster cans. Now, before you cry, you know, white monster can femboy allegations, they actually use these monster cans, you know, they would buy them for $1, actually less than $1, like half a dollar. They would down it, and once they did that, they would go to the boys' bathroom, and they would make a bong out of it. And once they were done, they would then throw it down the toilet and flush it away. And I know this because every single time after recess, when we lined up to go to class, we would smell the weed coming out from the boys' bathroom. And additionally, what they also found was entire apples flushed down the plumbing system, because they would go to the store that was on campus, and they would buy apples and would turn that into bongs. So basically, they would turn every and anything into a bong, use it, and then flush it down the toilet. Which is pretty crazy. And so the school had to stop selling healthy green apples because the boys would keep making bongs out of them, which was pretty crazy. The stuff that happens down here is pretty wild. But anyways, I'm getting a bit off topic here, so let's go back to Shoe0nHead.
Hello again, friends. Sorry I've been gone for quite a bit. Hopefully nothing.
I'm sorry, guys. I watch all my videos in ×2 speed. I have to remember to put it back on normal speed for you guys. So that you guys can actually keep up with what's happening, because I have Omega Zoomer brain. Zaza? Yeah. Hi, hey, Sunder Kobo, welcome, my liege. Hope you're doing really well today. Hope you're having a glorious Tuesday, as I say. Apparently, guys, for those of you who missed it, ×2 speed, thank you very much. Yeah, but everybody else prefers ×1 speed, So I have to cater to the majority. Plus, if I upload this to YouTube, can you imagine the comments complaining about the video being too fast? Tism? Oh, ×2 speed tism. Yeah, I do have gigatism. I have Omega Zoomer brain. I listen to Nightcore music in ×2 speed. That's when you know it's bad. I listen to Maxor's videos. I watch Maxor in ×2 speed. That's when you know I've ascended beyond the plane of tism. I've arrived at gigatism. Ew. What do you mean, ew?
Nothing too crazy happened. I feel like every time I take a break, like a war breaks out or something, but thankfully that did not happen.
Hydrate?
But
Did you redeem a hydrate? Oh shoot. I don't have any coffee on me. Do you guys mind if I take 5 minutes and go and get a hydrate redeem? I'll be back. 2 minutes, guys. Thunder Cobra redeemed hydrate on the Kick. For some reason, I don't get the notifications on Kick whenever someone redeems something. I'm gonna have to see about fixing that. Sink water? Bleh! The reason why I'm not gagey is because I do not drink the fluoride in the water, okay? It's bad for you. That's turning the frogs gay. And it's probably riddled with microplastics. No thank you. My water is purified twice over, hard-boiled, and it's poured straight out of the kettle into my mouth. Well, close enough. That's pretty much how I like my coffee, straight out the kettle. And if you like it any other way, you're not a real man. Like the one time when I was in high school, what's your coffee made with? Purified water. And a bit of coffee, a little bit of sugar, and some milk. That's it. Because every single day in high school, I used to bring coffee to school, and that's the reason why they banned coffee at my high school. But anyways, they stopped enriching the water with fluoride where I live. Based. Because they know, they're noticers. So, the one time, I was busy drinking from my flask, my friend asked me, hey, can I have some coffee? So like, yeah, sure, go ahead, go have a taste. And so, he takes a swig, shall we say, and then next thing he goes, ah! I'm like, so, how does it taste? And he's like, vapor! As the steam is coming out of his mouth. He could not handle my coffee. Apparently it was just way too hot for him. Like, whenever I go to, like, a guest house, like the one time I went to, a girl's house, and, I met her folks and whatever, and so she offered to make some coffee, Obviously her dad had to prompt her to, hey, go get some coffee. She brings out the coffee, she's like, very careful, it's very hot. I'm like, okay, cool. And she's, basically shivering, holding it by the handle because of how steamy it is. I grab it in my bare hands, I'm like, okay, cool, it's nice and warm, maybe it's hot. And I sip and I tell her, damn, it's cold. And she looks at me like I'm absolutely insane. Fox drinking coffee, this is fine. Literally. And her dad has spilled out his coffee and he looks at me and says, what? He dips his finger in my coffee and he says, Nirma yes mal, which basically he called me in Afrikaans a crazy person. Anyway, well, that's today's story. Let me come back in like 2 minutes. I'm gonna go get that hydrate redeem. I'm even feeling a bit thirsty. They stopped enriching the water with fluoride where I live. Oh wait, no, I already read that. Oopsies. Alright, you better scatter, you gooners. I caught you right in the act. Alright, I got coffee. Nice. Consider your hydrate redeemed. Dej? Dej because you got caught? Oh yeah, by the way, Sarah's, I forgot to ask. I don't know if you know, but I'm getting an official Underworld Fox live 2D model made. Have you seen it? If not, I can show you. It's pretty awesome. It's not finished yet, but work in progress, but it looks so good. Oh damn, you gotta see it. It's absolutely cinema. Drink my coffee quick. Nope. Okay. I'll show you when we're done this. Alright, where's my browser? Actually, wait, I haven't? Okay. I'll show you, don't worry, I'll show you. Maybe like after we've done the reacts, I'll show you the work in progress so far. I also got live 2D models. You do? Where'd you steal them from? Yo ho ho?
at least we found out the real Epstein files were the friends we made along the way.
Oh bro, this thing was so stupid. the MAGA movement basically ran on this so hard during the months leading up to the election. Like, yeah, we're gonna release the Epstein files, and then who was that one lady? When she was asked about the Epstein files, she basically said, "Yeah, they're sitting on my desk right now." And then immediately, like a couple of days ago, they were like, "Oh no, the Epstein files, the list never existed. It's all just a hoax created by the Democrats. What a bunch of garbage. Steele, how dare you?" You wish you do. Yeah, and so this whole Epstein thing is just completely, absolutely ridiculous. They, I cannot believe just how badly they fumbled this. Like, in just every regard, even when like they uploaded the video as supposed evidence, just the metadata alone show that the video had been edited in Adobe and basically slapped together from two different video sources and then saved multiple times. Which, yeah, sure, you could probably chalk that up to incompetence or a bunch of things, but there's just too many dots on the lines for me to conclusively say that the thing never existed and there's no foul play going on here. There is 100% a cover-up going on here. There's just way too many red flags. That means a lot of key people in government are at stake. That is true. But here's my thoughts on it. You gotta wonder, why didn't the Democrats just release a list and, take a nice pot shot at all the Republicans, and then just redact the names that, would get them in trouble? Or why wouldn't the Republicans just release a list and, just blank out all their names? My theory is, okay, is this only makes sense is if there is a third party that has the entire list, and he or she or they, whatever, has made it known that if they release any part of the list, both of them are going down. And that's the reason why they don't want to do it, because both parties are complicit in this. Who that third party is, I don't know. If I had to guess, they're probably acting on behalf of a outside nation. Which nation is that? I don't know. But that's my theory. That's the only way it makes sense to me, is if someone else is essentially holding them hostage, saying, if you release a little bit, we're going to release all of it. Because if they go down, everyone goes down, maybe? Yes, that's what I'm saying. I like how the internet people outside of US see it as a live show. That's pretty much how people see South Africa. Yeah, I think it's probably people in government across the whole Republican and Democrat spectrum. And the only reason why one party hasn't basically outs the other one is because they're both complicit, and if one of them does it, the third party's going to come in and release the full list, and then they're both going to be screwed. Yes, me included. Don't worry, we're both laughing at these clowns. But hey, at least it's not as bad as down here, But we didn't have an Epstein thing, but, we've had just... You can imagine what goes down on here in South Africa. Africa's Bear Grylls show. It's certainly something, that's for sure.
Welcome back to the Shoe0nHead channel. If it is your first time here,
Wait,
run.
What?
I am Shoe0nHead,
Why is this highlighted? There we go.
and on this channel I like to cover cultural...
Has she ever explained why she calls herself Shoe0nHead? I don't think I've ever known. Like, why does she actually call herself Shoe0nHead? Like, that name is just so random and weird. Like, at least with something like, just for an example, like, Smug Alana. Okay, it's Alana who is smug, It gives out, there's something that very intuitive about the name. Very old meme? Oh, okay. But something like Shoe0nHead just doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe I'm just not old enough. She used to have a shoe on her head, but she ate it. Oh, it's before my time.
Issues mostly surrounding men's issues. It's what I've been doing for over a decade, and frankly...
Doesn't get the gift sub alert? Wait, are you saying Shoe doesn't get the gift sub alerts, or I don't get the gift sub alerts? If it's me, and you send a gift sub, I am terribly sorry, but for some reason they're not working. Did you send a gift sub? If so, I'll just have to publicly thank you, because the notifications are completely paused, and I don't know how to fix it. Maybe someone with a bit of Twitch know-how can help me set that all up. Women can be huge on periods. Wait, what? Oh, Hangy! Nodders? Oh, thanks so much for the gifted, man. I appreciate it. I can't even see how many and when you did it, so I'm just gonna have to come out and say thanks so much for the subs, man. I appreciate it. For those of you guys in Twitch who can't see, one of my kick mods gave me a couple of subs, so thank you so much, man. I will try my best to see if I can figure out what's going on with the notifications and fix that going forward.
I'm exhausted. Many of you have been along for the ride, and you have seen me go from a...
I hate how she looks like my high school English teacher. Holy cow. That's uncanny resemblance. Damn it, I missed them, Sag. Yeah. Like, she looks just like my high school teacher. And you know what's worse? Like, we had a high school teacher, and trust me, when she bent over your desk, the entire other side of the class would lean in closer just to get a sneak peek at those cheeks. And so we heard, she's very young here. Yeah, she looks exactly like my English teacher. But that's not the plot twist. Just wait. It's almost like okay, not like a 1-to-1 resemblance. It's more like, like a 70% resemblance. But she looked more or less like this, that same youthful, pretty girl vibe. But it was then announced at the like 20-year reunion. And keep in mind, 20-year reunion. You Gooners mad gay? Yes. At a 20-year reunion, one of the speakers that are coming back for the 20th year reunion would have been the Mrs. and then it would have been the last name of our English teacher. So I'm not going to dox her here. And so we assumed, okay, 20 years, 20 plus 18, that means the person who's coming back is pretty much around 40. So we assumed that her mother was coming back to give us a speech. So we're like, okay, cool. We're going to go meet our teacher's mom. Let's go. To our surprise and horror, when she got up on the stage, and she was the one who gave the speech for the 20th anniversary, we all thought she was 20 when she was actually 40. We got bros. We got bamboozled. Backstabbed even. We got hagfished. Our minds were blown. Whole school of hagbags is true. But she looked like this. And so, when she got up on the stage, it was supposed to be quiet, but the entire boys' side of the school was in uproar. It was so funny. Everyone's like, what? The MILF material. We all thought she was like 20 or something. We're like, yeah, the moment we leave high school, boys, we've got a chance. Meanwhile, she's about as old as all of our mothers. That blew up in our face. I think our teacher could be Clue. Who? She used Totem of Undying. Facts, though. Facts.
Chipper, lively, 24-year-old making fun of BuzzFeed and Tumblr feminists, to a bitter, calloused 34-year-old talking about
Oof. 34. Hag maxing.
very real and growing men's issues. One of the main men's issues I have been covering in great
Nobody
detail
saw that
lately
coming,
has
guys.
been the
We're all
male
bamboozled.
loneliness epidemic.
All 500 of us men in that school were bamboozled. Hag VTuber from FaZe? Wait. Show is from FaZe? Really? Oh, no, the Cleo, the one you mentioned recently. She's from FaZe? Oh, okay.
Yeah, but turns out I was wrong. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic. It's not a male loneliness epidemic. No, it's a male mediocrity epidemic.
Okay.
It's a male loser epidemic.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad
Is that baby oil? And she gets it straight from Diddy's party?
that it's honestly so pathetic at this point.
Yay!
Now, I don't always...
Wait. I actually want... What is she
Gotten
doing?
so bad that it's
Why is she putting baby oil in her face? Who does that? What is wrong with you people? Why would you put that in your face?
honestly so pathetic at this point.
We can have another
Now, I
clappies.
don't always talk about men's issues. No, sometimes I talk about politics, and sometimes I mix the two together. Now, I know a lot of you don't like politics. You don't
Probably
care...
People moisturize their face? I never understood the reason for that. Like, you guys know, Michelar water? I don't know what that is. Like, you guys know, what do you call it? Vaseline? Like, especially in the winter, you get a lot of, I know a lot of the African guys here, they use it a lot, and a lot of the women, they will use it on, like, their lips and stuff, but especially females, they'll use a lot of Vaseline in the winter, and I never understood why. They'll be like, oh, no, you see, it moisturizes the skin, and makes sure your lips aren't dry. I'm like, what? You guys get dry lips? What's that? I've literally never heard of this. I have the most softest and succulent lips. They never get dry. I'm pretty sure that Vaseline is just a scam for people who think that their lips are getting dry. Same for most beauty products. You don't need all these fancy face washes and lipstick and shampoos out the wazoo. I've used the same bar of soap for the last 20 years and I'm still pretty handsome. Meanwhile, all these women are spending $2,000 on all these makeup products, fanboy lips dying on all these makeup products, and they still look ugly. It has improved them by 0%. They're being scammed. It'd be so much better if you just bought Bionicles instead. Women, coffee, true. I have very dry lips during winter, but I just let them crack. That is, like, bizarre and strange to me because I've never experienced dry lips that get cracks. The only time it ever happens if I eat a lot of very salty items, like if say I eat like a full jumbo popcorn all by myself, which I can do, which is basically like a kg of popcorn. It's so huge. Then maybe I'll get it because of how drying salt is. Or if I eat like a lot of salted chips, then usually that causes dry lips. Or maybe even toast, you know, because it's just so abrasive to your mouth. Dry air plus cold. We get that here. Never had it.
About politics. But politics cares about you, and it will enter your life no matter how hard you try to avoid it. But thankfully,
Okay.
I have the perfect app to help you navigate this.
It's common up north where I am. Sub-zero temps and dry air makes your skin split and bleed. That is interesting. Like it actually happens here because, believe it or not, guys, we get snow in Africa. Okay? And people get, you know, the resulting conditions of skin and whatever you. But it's never happened to me. Like, it'll be the dead of winter, you know, middle of July down here, and someone will be like, damn, you know, my skin is so dry, I'm like an old lady, and my lips are cracking. I'm like, what? Sounds like a skill issue to me. Maybe I am just blessed genetically, you know, to have, you know, some very soft and moisturized skin naturally. But, you know, I've just never been able to relate. Because I bless the rains. I do love rain. Rain is probably my second favorite weather. Number one, it's gotta be thunderstorms. I love thunderstorms. It's because you don't go outside. There is an argument against that, but I just can't think of it now. What? Wachs next legs? Yeah. True, I don't go outside. Except once a year. Once a year I go outside, every December, because I take the kids out for summer camp, okay? At the church summer camp. That's when I go outside. Why did you moan? I didn't moan. What are you talking about? You have no proof that I moaned. I never moan. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I do go outside once a year. African rain frogs are cute. I've probably seen them, but just don't know that they're called that. You did? 9. What did you say? Propaganda. A son of a back meat. Excuse me. If the mod backs you, then no more catfish for him.
Difficult,
Cat food.
confusing political landscape. So let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Ground News.
I hear so many people talk about ground news, especially all these quote-unquote based streamers and YouTubers. Maybe it's worth me paying the subscription to get it.
Before we get into this video, shall
I
we?
want stuff to yap about.
Ground News is a website and an
This is aggressively British, by the way. That look she's got. It's not bad, but this is something aggressively English.
app that gives readers a
She's just missing the hat.
fun and transparent way to read the news from all across the political spectrum, from left,
You don't
right,
need it, you can
and
use it for free.
center.
I thought you needed like a subscription to unlock all the stuff. Okay, if it's freebies. Hell yeah.
Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership, and headlines that helps you understand the full
60s
story
vibes?
and make
True,
sure you're getting
true.
both sides. One of my favorite features
She's just
from
missing
Ground
those
News
really
has to
large
be the
sombrero-looking
blind spot
hats
feature,
they
which
used to
shows
have
you
in
news
Europe.
stories that have been covered by only
That the
one
woman
side
used
of
to
the
wear to
political
church, the
spectrum
big
and
ones, yeah,
ignored
those
by the
ones.
other. For example, here is a story
You
about
don't
how the
need to know
CIA
hundreds of US
uncovered
news, you don't need it.
Russiagate.
Well, yeah, but, you know, the US news matters to pretty much everyone because the US pretty much controls the world. No, the price unlocks additional stuff? Oh, okay. Crochet hat? Yeah, that one, yes, the crochet hat. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. And so, because if ever there's news, I can't really cover it if it's local here because everybody knows, okay, the government stole money, someone stole copper, so someone stole a building. Those 3 things are the only things that happen down here, or, you know, someone died. Over in America, it's a lot more interesting news for me to cover, you know, like conspiracies and Epstein and all sorts of other juicy stuff.
Fraud, and right away we can see how it has been covered by 41 sources, and out of those 41 sources, 93% of them lean right, with only 2 left-wing outlets reporting the story.
Florida
Ground News
Man,
also
hell
makes
yeah.
it really easy to compare headlines
I love the
to
Florida
see
Man
just
memes, they're
how
so good.
political bias can affect the framing of a story.
Bro, what is this Italian hand thing she's got going on there? Mamma mia on head.
For example, this story about Zoran Mamdani winning the Democratic primary in New York. This left-leaning outlet says Zoran Mamdani's win just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right-wing outlet says, meet Zoran Mamdani, the man who will ruin New York. As you can see,
I hate emotionally charged articles. It drives me insane. When we were taught how to make articles in high school in our English classes, we were taught always never use emotionally charged language, never use personal language like pronouns and stuff, always be completely biased and observe and speak as if you're just an outside observer. Only facts, no emotionally charged language, no, viewing this through the lens of any sort of ideology. And then when I got out of high school and I saw the garbage that the gamer news articles were busy writing, like Kotaku and all the other weirdos, I'm like, what the hell is this? This is just garbage journalism. And then I finally understood the meme of why everyone says you don't hate journalists enough, because they don't know how to write articles. We learned how to write articles better in literally in the middle of Africa than these people clearly went through. It's insane.
Very different vibes. I have been using Ground News since 2021 because I think it is so informative, so fun, and it helps me see how different stories are framed so differently, and I love it. I highly recommend it.
And it's always done to push the agenda or the worldview of the article writer.
Immediately check. But don't just take my word for it. Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. High praise. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all of their amazing features. This comes out to only like $5 a month.
$5 a month? That's groceries! If you're in Africa like me.
Which is like the price of a coffee. So go to Ground...
You guys pay $5 for coffee? What? What? You guys are paying $5? That's insane. What? That is criminal. A coffee down here, just for a regular coffee, you probably pay $1 for that. $12 for Starbucks? I thought you were gonna die? That price killed me. You guys are being scammed. You're being robbed. $12 for Starbucks? Bro, a cup of coffee here, $1. Unironically. Like, the most expensive coffee I've ever gotten was a really good maca coffee. We pay $10 a month for emotes in a VR social game. Bro, that's insane. $5 is like one dinner. Exactly. $5, that's a whole plate of food. That's insane. So yeah, the maca coffee that I had was about $2, maybe less. And was a full cup, like 300 milliliters. And, had the cream topping, came with the sugar and the biscuit, everything. You people pay $5 for coffee? Was she getting a flat white? Can I live with you? You're more than welcome to live in the hellhole that is South Africa. The food is cheap, the property is cheap, the services are cheap but unreliable. But hey, McDonald's used to have coffee for $1 10 years ago. Damn. That is insane. $5 for a triple Big Mac plus fries? Yeah, pretty much. Woo. Oh man, I almost died. $5 for coffee? Oh.
.news/
No wonder you guys can't afford eggs. Who do you pay for that? $10 too? It's like $1 for 3 eggs here.
Shoe, or use the QR code right there on...
Wait, what? No, $1 is 20 Rand, right? We pay about R1 or 2 Rand an egg, so for $1 we get about 10 or 20 eggs, give or take.
Screen, or the link in the video description down there to subscribe to Ground News.
13 for a dozen? Bro, that's insane. I pay $1. And at minimum, I'll get 6 eggs. I could probably get it up to 12 depending on where I buy. That's insane. You people can't afford eggs? Damn!
News today. I feel like what they're doing is really important, especially right now, and it helps us approach the news in a more fair...
$0.80 for 10. See, that's much more reasonable. $25 on a small pizza? What? How do you people survive? A large pizza, we're talking 8 slices, the size of a dinner plate, the big boys. Thick crust. It will cost you $5. A whole $5. And depending on the place, you can get 2 large ones for $10. And I can't even eat a full dollar pizza. $12? Whew. The secret is crime. I mean, if you heard of what's going down in Detroit and a couple other places, what was the other place that starts with the C? I don't remember. But I heard apparently they're closing down McDonald's stores, they're closing down all these restaurants and stores because of just how violent and rampant the crime is there. No wonder they charge you guys $25 for pizza.
Fair and balanced way. So
California,
thank you to Ground
Chicago,
News for
that's
sponsoring
not
this video,
Chicago.
and thank you, the
Cal
viewer,
is
for
always on
not
fire,
skipping
but
the
yeah,
ad.
Chicago's the one I was thinking of.
Right. Now, let's get back to the video. With all
Just
these
bought 30
issues,
eggs
men are
for 15 USD. 15 USD. That's crazy. I literally have a chicken farm near where I live. I can just go there and grab eggs. Not, you know, illegally. Like, you know, I know the people. They're very nice. You know, I've been on their farm. I am not a big fan of the government. Ah! Nobody is. Welcome in, Reaper Necros. Hope you're doing well, man. For those of you guys that don't know, Reaper Necros is the god-tier Greek modeler. And he's very excellent in the work that he does. I've seen his work in terms of making 3D models. They look pretty awesome. He's also building me a Underworld Fox 3D model, which is going to be epic. You know, once we get that VR up and running, it's going to be cool. $15 is 3 hours of work for me. Oh, that's insane. When femboy models mad gay? Soon, boys.
are facing, they seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since the left and Democrats
Is it
have
cheaper
essentially
chicken
just
farms?
become
Is the
the
story
young
suspended?
men eat
Yeah, but your
die
stories are
movement.
just
Months
crazy.
ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men, and I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting for Trump. And I was correct. Well, now the Democrats
Thanks
have
for shout out,
unveiled
Big Senpai.
their
A pleasure,
final
man.
solution to the right-wing.
Wait, hold up. I was busy reading chat. I heard final solution. My inner German has been triggered.
Correct. Well, now the Democrats have unveiled their final solution
Hey guys, do you think the Democrat Party accepts South Africans into their ranks?
to the right-wing male loser epidemic.
Oh, never mind. I completely misinterpreted that whole thing. My bad. My bad, guys. It ain't what it looks like. Don't caught react me. I thought this was something else. Okay, my bad. My bad.
Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class.
Why are you spending millions on this? Ooh, this sounds just like a... it sounds like a scam. I don't know, but that Miku Skisho is looking for a mod. You can tell her that I'm looking for work. Just saying, you can put my name out there. I'm just saying.
Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves on Election Day in hopes of winning back the working class. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts, with donors and strategists holing up in luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working class men to return to the party. Ah yes, nothing more relatable to working class men than luxury hotel rooms. Great job, guys.
I feel like if that was done in South Africa, I don't know about the US, but if that was something that was done in South Africa, that 20 million that they spend would literally just be pocketed by corrupt government officials, and nothing would come of it. They wouldn't even have the discussions. They'd be like, yeah, we need 20 million to discuss how to win X demographic to our side. And the 20 million goes into 5 different people's pockets, and they never have the discussion. I don't know if the same thing is going on here, but that sounds like a waste of taxpayers' money.
The plan? Codename Sam, or Speaking with a
You want to know how to get the working class American men? Samsung Sam might have been a better option than Democrat Sam, just saying.
American Men, a strategic plan, promises to use the funds to study the syntax language and content that gains attention and virality in these spaces.
This is so stupid. You don't even need 20 million for this. You don't even need $20 for this. This is something that you can study in your own free time. This is free information. More or less what happens a lot of the time. Damn. It's not tax money, it's donations? Okay. Here would have been tax money that they would have used for it. Which I'm pretty sure is not illegal, but anyways. At least it's donations, which is, I suppose, you know, not as bad, but still, that is just a complete waste of money. If you donated to that, you deserve to lose your money, just saying.
The effort also recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things. The Democratic Party is treating young men like exotic animals they're studying. Now, as you can see here, is the young man in
What is she wearing? Is that a nun outfit? Looks pretty interesting.
his natural habitat, in a dark, messy cave surrounded
This is literally me right now. Except the room is completely clean. Okay, so I've got a pile of washing on my couch. But that's about it. There is no papers, there is no cans of soda, there is no bottles of anything, except my coffee cup. Everything else is in place. Also, why does my phone keep vibrating? That's kind of weird.
by Taco Bell wrappers and empty Mountain Dew bottles. Here is another young man, as you can see, also
And you have the Buddha flag
dwelling
instead
in
of
a
US?
dark
Yes.
cave. This one has dyed his hair blue to scare off potential predators. Unfortunately, it also scares off potential mates. But moving on, here is another...
I know this guy. He's the jeez, what's he? Hold on. My brain's working. He's the Jewish guy. What is the detail I remember first? He's there we go, Nuxtaku. Okay, I remembered his ethnicity, but not his name. The allegations all looking good, guys. Yeah, Nuxtaku. Apparently he's pretty famous on Kick.
young man, we think...
It sounded bad. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't mean anything by it. Just please forgive me. I love this guy. Interesting. Yep, okay.
we're not...
Why does he remind me of that one game? What was that short guy with blue eyes who also had like a skull thingy on his head? Damn. Undertale, I think it was? Yeah. Random question. Which flag is a blue flag if I'm in results? If I'm not mistaken, it's the orange, blue, and white one. The South African Republic flag. Yeah. Oh yeah, that Jewish guy. That was my bad. But I know he's mentioned it sometime. I saw that in a clip. It should be the white, orange, and blue flag. The South African Republic flag that the country now uses is... Oh, nice. I mentioned Jewish people and CT pops in. Hey, CT, welcome on in. Welcome. How you doing, man? Hi, CT. Yeah. Interesting timing, my liege. So the South African Republic flag is the one with the red, blue, green, yellow, black, and it looks like a Y in the flag. The actual Afrikaner, I think, the previous administration's flag had, I think, white, blue, orange, and like 3 different flags in the middle. Of course he's Polish Jewish first. My bad. I'm a noticer. But that does not mean he is inherently bad, okay? I'm not the type of guy who says all people of X demographic are bad, okay? I understand nuance, okay? Okay, I know plenty of Israeli guys, you know, who are just completely chilled, you know? I wouldn't treat him with any harm. By the way, CT, how you doing, my liege? Hope you're doing good.
Quite sure about this one. We're still studying it. Listen, Democrats, instead of spending $20 million to do that stupid maybe you should, I don't know, actually listen to men. I listen to men for free all the time. All I have to do is read my comment section.
Free.
Let's see here. Shoe0nHead is a perfect example of why we need to repeal the 19th.
Can you guys tell me what the 19th is? I don't actually know what that is.
Greetings from Albania. I hate women so much it's unreal. Ooh, shoo, mommy, milkies, mommy.
Alright, Chad, which one of you is this? Doing good? Cleaned this all winners yesterday? Based. Hope you managed to de-bloat it as well. Oh yeah, that's Magalana Borger thing. I love that emote, it's so good. Ability to women to vote? Oh, so that's what it is. I mean, things have gone down since it was implemented. I'm just saying.
Mommy. One time I got my penis stuck in a soda bottle.
Do not the soda bottle, Chad. Please, do not the soda bottle. Nothing good can come from that.
Okay, on second thought, maybe my comment section is not the best source.
Since Trump scored big with young male voters last election, Democrats are
use
spending...
a water bottle. No, don't use any bottle. It is not meant for that purpose.
$20
It's meant for drinking out of. Thin ear.
million to learn how to speak their language. I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's
But the stats don't bear that out now.
Oh no, it's the clowns from The View, I was wondering. Oh no. I cannot take these people seriously. They all sound like a bunch of Karens.
Look at what young women have to choose from.
players
The
can use the
pickings
soda
are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families.
Yeah, but they want the guy to be like, what, 6'5" and have like a 6-figure salary. And the list goes on.
But there are a lot of young men out
Legends,
there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Oh no.
Oh no,
the
indeed.
very night I was sitting on my couch writing the script to my video about how the Democrats are spending $20 million to relate to young men, this came on my TV on Fox News. A Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham segment about stay-at-home sons, men who still live at home. Literally minutes after this aired, it went absolutely viral on Twitter for not good reasons. So we are going to unpack this piece by piece. Because even though everyone was mocking it and making fun of it, as far as I saw, nobody was really dissecting it and breaking down exactly why she was so egregiously wrong. So come join me in debunking the male loser epidemic. Because who else better equipped to talk about men's issues than two stupid blonde bimbos?
Nice roast.
Hold on one second.
Oh no, she became blonde. Oh no. Now we've got 3 blonde bimbos.
3 stupid blonde bimbos.
True.
Sorry.
Not pre-watched, I just happened to get the joke.
I felt left out. Alright, let's go. Wait.
Oh no,
I need my gamer fuel.
G-subs? Oh no, it's the white monster can. Nobody mentioned the white monster can, okay? I've already had enough of the allegations.
See? I do drink it. That one's for you, Tectone.
It's a major problem.
I don't understand the Tectone reference, but okay.
And you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid. Maybe some of those folks are the...
PC kept black screening during gaming and we ruled out a hardware error since it was something that happened to others, but for a simple driver update fixed it. Damn, that is despair again.
Stay-at-home sons,
PC
we don't
issues
know.
scare me
but
because
I'll
of how expensive
leave
it is.
Leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. But Laura, I gotta tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. You know, that's...
And I wonder why they're not doing that.
It's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
So first of all, this stay-at-home son thing is not a real thing. It was a random throwaway, self-deprecating joke some contestant on Jeopardy said. One f***ing guy. Because I guess there's nothing else important going on that they could cover on the news. They literally made this into a fake phenomena so they can on young men. Meanwhile, Democrats are spending millions of dollars trying to win back young men. Oh no, the young men are leaving us in droves. How do we get them back? Don't worry, I got this. Hey, you fat, lazy, Cheeto dust-covered slobs.
That's mean.
You. Nice. Thanks. I love you. I love you too.
Oh no, gay. Please don't, please don't. The Barbie doll transition. Chat, I think we found the one funny woman in the world. Why are you scissoring on my channel? What? I don't appreciate that. I mean, I know my chat was complaining about 9 segs, but you didn't have to, you know, do it in front of them. That's just mean.
Is the amount of young men living home with their parents increasing? Yes. Is it because they're lazy bums and just want to order DoorDash all day? No.
It's because society hates us, we can't get a job, we can't have any sort of social interactions without walking on eggshells. Everything can be blamed on feminists, Karens, and boomers. Hey, I'm not complaining at all. God. Oh, so you just came to the channel, you know, not to support me. You just want to watch the Lesbian Lex on my... that happens to be on show. 9 sex? I can barely handle 1. Very funny, Asunder, very funny.
And also, they're not paying for DoorDash, Tommy. They're fine.
Also, my phone keeps vibrating. Let me quickly check what's happening. This is like the 30th time it's gone off. 1 sec. Never mind, it was just scams. I'm going to ignore them. Okay, chair fixed. Let's carry on, boys.
Financing it. Come on. Get with the times.
There are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job,
Bro, what
breathe the fresh air.
Have either of you tried applying for a job as a young man recently?
Bro, it's so insane. I've sent out over 100 applications. I can't get anything. The entry-level jobs, like just sitting at the till being a cashier. Not the J word. What kind of J word? We don't mention that J word. Anyways, as I was saying, like I'll send hundreds of applications out, but even to the people that like I want to apply to, I can't, because they want an entry-level job of just like a merchandiser or someone who just mans the till and is, you know, a cashier. They want you to have like 3 years of experience for an entry-level job. Like, what is this? What? Can someone please explain this to me? I work right now, Sag. Well, at least you got some sort of income. I don't work. I'm broke. I'm literally living off of Sunder Cobra's subs. And not be white. Okay, yeah. Especially in the context of South Africa, being white Omega sucks. Because everywhere you apply to has to comply with BEE laws, which basically means they need to have a set quota of black people and colored people, etc. Entry-level jobs want 3 years of experience to earn an entry-level pay. Sounds like a scam, pretty much. Finally in, welcome. What's poppin'? We're talking about how men can't find jobs. So anyways, so you need 3 years work experience to earn basically a bare minimum wage, like you're earning like $200 a month down here. And they won't hire you if you're white because of the whole economic laws that completely screw over white people here and exclude them from the economy. The J word dog, Sag, true. So, just to give an example, there was a recent thing with the whole Bidvest controversy here in South Africa, which was basically offering a bunch of, I don't remember, it was like aids or sponsorship or something, but they literally excluded white people from applying. So basically a white American owns an African. Where have I seen those before? No. What? Where'd you pull that from? But anyways, yeah. And so they've been taken to court by, I think, some organization here in the country because of it's apparently unconstitutional. Because they literally put there in their T's and C's that white people can't apply to any sort of benefits. They called me a Klansman because I advocate equality in society. I see. That's kind of weird. But anyways, so as I was saying, so it's really difficult just to find a job down here because all of the sponsorships and training programs and even internships, they all will say that, you know, whether it's something light like preference will be given to BEE compliant candidates, i.e. black people or Indian people or disabled women people, queer people, you name it. But if you're a straight white guy, sucks to be you, you're not going to get hired. Even if you have the better qualifications, they ain't choosing you. It's basically DEI on absolute steroids down here. But instead of having like a mandatory, you know, 2%, I don't know, of gay, black, queer people in your company, or even having like a 30% whatever, it's got to be like 100% down here sometimes. Indians have better rights in SAM. Do they? What's Sam? Orangutans 9! Oh yeah, that weird ad that you keep telling me about.
Or tried buying a house on the salary of one of these young men. Have you experienced the dating?
I heard oil rig engineers and just people who work on oil rigs in general, apparently they get paid quite a big, handsome salary, so... South Africa? Yeah, that is true. Indians, unironically, have more rights than white people in South Africa. Well, not more rights, I suppose you'd say, because legally we're supposed to have all of the, you know, same rights. But economically and socially, they have an advantage because they'll be hired over us. Sounds like a plan?
Market, been on the dating sites as a young man? No? Interesting, okay. Just wondering. Listen, I know the average age of a Fox News viewer is like 70 nowadays, and you need...
Bro, all these boomers. We gotta get rid of them.
...to pander to them. But Tommy, you are like 2 years younger than me. You know this shit isn't true. Why are you talking...
$5,000 for 3 months? Sign me up, bro. That's like 10 times as much as I would earn getting a basic salary down here.
...talking like this? Why are you talking like a f***ing boomer? I'm sorry, I have no other word for this, but I hate this like generational pick-me shit. I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not like those other young people. Not all young people can afford a nice nose job and lip filler and get a cushy job on Fox News.
That is true. Unfortunately, bros. It might be over for us.
It's entirely on merit, I'm sure. The main problem with this brain-dead, boomer-ass take is not only is it cringe, but it's completely divorced from reality. This slop is specifically designed for people who paid like $5 for a f***ing house.
But 3 times 3 the work, 3 months work, 3 months weekends. Makes sense. Still, it's a lot more money, comparatively. Median household income, median home price. Look at this. See, boomers be like, just get a job, a real job, and then you can buy your house, you know, pull up your socks. Look at generation, might as well support. Facts, bro. And look at these guys. They're paying what's essentially what, like, not even a quarter of what they earn for a house. Meanwhile, we're paying like, yeah, we're paying like, you know, comparatively speaking, we're paying a lot more than what they used to. Sure, the average salary's gone up, but that is a huge disparity in terms of the price for a house. And I bet you now, a lot of people, whether they're boomers or just really old people, they will buy up all the real estate and then they'll make the young people rent, driving up the price of houses so that nobody can afford a house. I finally made it to another stream. Katyusha, welcome so much. Hey, I missed you so much. How you doing? Welcome to stream. Thank you so much for popping in. Hope you're having a great day.
And listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers. They are lovely people.
Mine too. Mine are boomers, but they're pretty nice.
A lot of you guys are boomers, but when the baby boomer generation sends its people, it is not sending their best. They're not sending you.
Let's go to the wild and beautiful cabins.
They're bringing the housing crisis.
They're
bringing wage stagnation.
You cannot get a house, bro, on a big starter salary. You could literally put bolts onto a bumper for a car factory and you would be able to afford a house in like 2 years back then. You do that now, you won't be able to afford a car in 2 years, never mind a house.
They're falling for AI generated photos on Facebook.
But that is true, bro. My mom loves to send me AI slop. And I'm like, Mom, it's not real. But the cute kitty. Mom, you don't understand. It ain't real. Ayu.
But some, I assume, are good people. But my god, I truly believe they do not understand how good they had it. They could support a family on a single income. A single income from a job that didn't require a college degree. Their leaders didn't prostitute away their economic future for some cheap plastic shit from China. They inherited the greatest economy known to man. And they pretend it's a paradise that they earned. I just don't understand, like, why don't boomers and spiritual boomers like Tommy Lauren see people struggling and go, wow, I wish I could fix this. They should have it better than I had it. And you wonder why so many millennials and zoomers don't want kids. I want to make the world a better place for my children.
Whew. Her outfit changes, these videos are wild.
I want to make the world a better place for my children. Ugh. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you spoiled brat. Chill.
Let's all open OnlyFans and profit. The lows we have to stoop to.
Children. Not happening.
Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a...
This sounds like the type of words that would come out of a person that's going to die at the age of 65, surrounded by 40 cats, alone and single, and no one discovers the bodies until 5 days later. Fight the BS with BS true. Doing the math, it would take me 50 years to afford a house here, and like 5 to buy one with cash in South Africa. Dude, you have no idea just how astronomically cheap property is in South Africa. And there's multiple factors for it. So one of the major factors is that because everyone is basically dirt poor, the relative price of everything is very low. And so even though we say, just for an example, if you want to buy a property here, it'll be say 100,000, you know, for like a 4-bedroom house, a pool, and a double garage, okay? It's just example, okay? And say the comparatively America would be like $1 million, okay? Just an example. Even though that is like 10 times cheaper down here, the average person would take 20 to 30 years to be able to afford that if they saved. So even though it's comparatively a lot cheaper, the population is much more poorer than the, you know, conversion rate, so to speak, of the houses. So even though, like, you know, the price is 10 times less, we earn 20 times less. So relatively speaking, it's still more expensive for us. How much is the property in Greece? Dej? I don't know. So what you're telling me is that I could do Hearts of Iron 4 pass in South Africa? I don't know. I've never played the game before. Essay in Hearts of Iron is so miserable. I relate. I live here. So, if you had an American income and you moved to South Africa, outside of the whole politics and getting your cable stolen, you would probably be able to afford to live luxuriously. You could buy like, I'm trying to think. They were selling a property which I think was like 2 kilometers squared on the beachfront. So you walk outside and you see the beach. For, it was about, what, 600,000 rand? So what's that, divided by 20? So about 30k. 30k USD, you could buy yourself a large beachfront property and just watch the sunset every afternoon with the waves crashing outside. Can you do that in the US? Well, maybe for 20 times or 50 times the price, maybe. But comparatively down here, it's a lot cheaper. Please tell me the Philippine pesos is higher than whatever you guys have. I actually don't know what the conversion rate is.
A feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men.
Young men are becoming lazy because they're becoming feminized. So they're becoming lazy because they act more like women? What did she mean by this, chat?
Are you trying to imply that women are actually lazy? Oh, it's like 2 or 3 times compared to African property. Interesting. 1 rand equals, 3 pesos. Eesh.
I know there's like a decrease in testosterone or something happening, but men are moving right-wing all over the world. Does that correlate with the feminization, or, I mean, there are suspiciously...
I mean, it's probably inversely proportional, if anything. Yeah.
A lot of far-right femboys, so...
No! This was not the cameo that I was imagining. You were like, hey look, we'll send this video to Underworld Fox. There's gonna be a cameo at 12:45. Instead it's a freaking right-wing Nazi femboy. How dare you? That's not me. That's not me. Don't stare at me. Oh hey, welcome Simp, how you doing? It means that the rand is higher than you? Yes, our rand, one of our rands buys 3 of your currencies. Hello Jeff. We're talking economics and allegations. Very.
Maybe. But here's the thing, Tammy. There is absolutely no evidence that young women want to start families more than young men. No.
That is true. How many Yas Queen independent women do you know who want to, forge their own path in life and don't need no mans? I can own an African slave? No, you can't. We can own a Filipino, but not the other way around, dude. Your currency is like 3 times as weak. Sorry to break it to you. Citizenship-wise? Whoa, that's scary.
None.
Don't own slaves,
in fact,
chat.
all the data says the exact f***ing opposite. According to Pew Research, 64% of women younger than 50 say they just don't want to have children. No reason, they just don't want them. Versus 50% of men who say the same. Another study by Archbridge Institute shows the same. 63% of women without children said they have no desire to have a child, while only 50% of men said the same. For men, the most commonly cited factor was personal finance. But among women, the strongest reason not to have a child was their desire to maintain their personal independence.
So if you have to give, modern millennial and zoomer men, the economy that the boomers had, you'd probably see something like 90% or even higher percentage of men who want families. Women L. And this woman versus men thing goes back to the video of hers? I see. Also, hey Mose, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well.
Basically, they don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas. They've been asked...
What's a brunch and mimosa? The one about women being evil, silent romance? I've heard some horror stories, man.
Blasted with propaganda their whole lives, telling them their lives will be ruined, their bodies will be ruined, they'll never have fun again, they'll be miserable forever if they have children. And as someone who has had a children...
What? Is this an English second language moment, guys? She's had a children. Nice.
Best decision I've ever made. 10/10.
Based.
And highly recommend, would do it again. But yes, this idea that men are the ones primarily responsible for the low birth rates is laughable. We're laughing over here. Honestly, it's not really women or men's fault. There are a lot of factors that play into this. But Tommy, I really gotta ask, is it men or is it you?
This is gonna be the summer of canceling boys.
Oh no. Yep, I think we found the problem, guys. Brunch and mimosas equals breakfast at noon and a champagne and orange juice mix? What? You guys get that? Damn, that's crazy.
All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men.
I wonder why.
But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think,
what's the common denominator? Son cared, didn't ask. It's mostly women or vacation thing? I see. Let clarifying, yes.
It might not be us. It might be you. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and it's not, they're not...
Mose has a point. This is only white liberal college women from the West that act like this.
Any better in the Midwest. They, quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
My friends are successful. Men don't give a shit about that. They'd marry a Walmart cashier if she was nice to them.
Literally. Remember back in the old days, you walked into the video store to rent a movie, found a nice person, you asked for the number, and it was simple as that. Of course she's from LA. Oh geez, everybody from California seems to have the exact same problems.
I think men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage. Are you?
Yep, Asian women don't complain that much, neither do the ones here in South Africa. Not only white women, Democrat women. Yep, pretty much. They're no main offenders, but there are other parties there.
Usually not ready to be husbands and fathers.
That's a cultural issue. So,
all them now only fans of
I would actually, back to your point, I think it's a biological thing.
So let me get this straight. Men are all trash and won't commit and won't leave mommy's basement, and they're destroying the birth rates. But also young men are biologically incapable of commitment and being parents. What? But wait, there's more. She also believes women don't have to bring anything to the table.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect.
It's politics? Yes. Okay. Then, but you gotta see. They're in the West. Therefore, they are now the Western woman. But if you live in a place like Asia or South Africa, you know, you have that Asian or South African culture. Which means that you're not predisposed to dumb behavior like this. I am the table slave? What? Any Filipino that's born in California is no longer one of us? True. Bring Tate to shut them up. We should not fight retardation with retardation. In fact, Asian women weaponize being a woman very well. Is that so? Okay, that's news to me. I did not know that. Could you give us some examples, Mose?
Protect me, protect my family, make money. But I don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector, and a provider.
They work less and got paid
if you
more?
think you need...
That's stupid. I'm sorry, but if you should be paid by the amount of work you can do. Equal work for equal pay. That's my humble opinion. What is the money
something out of it? I quite frankly don't consider you a real man.
Never before in history have women demanded so much and offered so little. So before we get deeper into this retarded, manufactured, stay-at-home son narrative, let's check the Facebook comments of this Fox News video, because I am really interested to see what, like, the typical Fox News viewer thinks about this. If the women are anything like these two, I can hardly blame the men for staying home and not wanting to date them. Blame, blame, blame. These two women have a combined age of 93 and they have 0...
Ooh. Damn! It's almost a century between the two of you and 0 children? Well, when you're all alone, when you're 60, 70 and you got nobody, you have yourself to blame.
Children between
like
both of them.
Have to pick
you
up
both
a kid
have
at
a
5
pundit
p.m.
personality type.
Let me guess, she gets to go there at 5 p.m. and she still gets the same amount of pay versus someone who doesn't. Have to cover every day? That's not on. She shouldn't get paid for the hours that she's not at work for, in my humble opinion. If you get hired for 9 to 5 and you're there from 9 to 3, you should not get paid from 3 to 5. Did I get paid more? No. Did she get paid less? No. That's not right. If I was the employer, I wouldn't do that. We don't have anything to give women, and if we had, then why would we give them anything for existing, lol? You know, marriage is supposed to be a very complementary situation, you know, where each partner brings something to the table, and in ye old times, the man brought the food to the table, he brought the protection, he brought the providence, you know, he brought the discipline, the spiritual headness of the home. The woman brought the care, the motherly love. You know, she would keep the home, clean the home. She would support her husband. She would start a business. I'm the manager? Bro, that's... Don't pay her then. And everything was fine. And everything went downhill in the 60s. I would be the husband in the relationship, and I'll be called the useless one. The husband's job is to not be the stay-at-home guy. Your duty as a husband is to protect and to provide. If you're protecting and providing from home and you got like a job online, that's fine. But you ain't bringing in any money willingly, I don't think that's a good thing. Back in ye old day, true. If she wants man to act like men, then woman should act like woman, not girl boss. Amen to that, brother. When the men used to beat women for sport. No. It's okay to beat women in sport, but it's not okay to beat them for sport, okay? If you're racing them and you win, that's fine. If you're in a boxing match and you're just pounding her into the ground, that's a problem, okay, guys? Do not beat the woman. Depends if the wife has a better job than me. Yeah, I can understand there is a little bit of nuance, you know. If I don't think you should prevent your wife from having a job, but you should ideally be the one who is earning, you know, the money. And you should be the provider for your family, ideally. They want equality, but makes men hate them. True. Pounding her into the ground, you say, okay, maybe I chose the wrong words for this.
So listening to this was like male birth control to me. My goodness, boomers are ruthless. True. Bunch of sissies. I served 6 years, 2 years in Southeast Asia after Vietnam was over. When I was 18, rent was $450 and I could afford to get my own place.
And I wonder what it's like now. It's probably $4,050 for rent. Beating women, pounding women. Quote, Underworld Fox 2025. Asian women are so smart though, they use words to make man do thing for her. That's an almost universal thing. Women will always use their silver tongues to get men to do whatever they want. 2,000 minutes of what?
She's so spot on. Nothing screams I'm a loser run from me than a guy living at home in his parents' house with his 12-year-old boy's bedroom decor at age of 30. Thank God we raised our sons to be men, who grew up, lived on their own, found their soulmate, got married, bought a beautiful home, and started a family. I was out the door at 18, worked on the assembly line
at Doge, and I bet you now, you cannot get a job there now. $2,000 minimum rent? Damn. That is insane. Western women make worse to make men hate them. Well, yeah, they're a little bit more retarded over there in the West, but you know, before current day, it used to be a thing. I don't understand why, because they're dumb. And this is true for most people. Most people, by the way, are very dumb. And so when the media and governments tell them dumb things, like, you know, American media, Hollywood, and the government over there tells them dumb things, they will believe it. It's as simple as that.
At Dodge and in the Air Force at 19, never went back home. I can't relate to this. Yes, we know you people can't relate. We know. But the world has changed. Why can't you people get this through your heads? I will never let my son stay home. I'm trying to push them out of the nest. Okay, I really gotta ask, is this an Anglo thing? Immediately kicking your kid out when they turn 18 years old? My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this. And honestly, why the f would a man leave home, leave his mother's cooking, for a woman who probably can't cook? Not me.
Damn, bros. It's looking tough out there. Imagine leaving mama's cooking for, I don't know, burnt eggs on toast or something.
Though, personally, I can cook amazing homemade meals. I'll have you know I am a great trad wife.
Of course, dino nuggies. Yes, I suppose men do like dino nuggies. Because they please men, yes. There ain't nothing like good old mama's cooking, true, man. And this is why, that whenever you find an Afrikaner girl, they know how to cook. Because their mom taught them from a young age how to cook. And if she can't cook, it's seen as like a stain on the family legacy. Okay, we take cooking very seriously down here. If you are a girl, you must know how to cook. And if you're a man, you must know how to braai. There is no excuse. Simple as. Dino nuggies, bog. I'm sorry, what? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How do you eat this and survive? This will fit in my hand, and then I'll be starving. I need at least 30 to 40 of these to even feel a semblance of fullness. The entire chat goes crazy when Dino Nuggets come on screen.
Now, unfortunately, Tommy Lauren wasn't the only one pushing this stupid,
that was a poverty
lazy
meal,
young
man.
men
You
go
need a
get
little bit
job
more portions.
bullshit. Mike Johnson did it, referencing 29-year-old men playing video games all day.
Fatty? I'm not fat, I'll have you know. I actually weigh about 80 kilograms and I'm 6'4". So I am actually not fat, surprisingly, even though I'm a Reddit mod. Fun fact, the wife in country get called roof? What does roof mean? Well, that's kind of weird. Can you explain the joke? Messed up microwave? Oh, damn it, I missed the microwave comment. Somebody retype that.
Steve Scalise did it with 35-year-old men playing video games all day. And just the other night, I saw this on my TV. Again.
A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men, stay-at-home son. It's a phrase that's taken off since 27-year-old.
I wouldn't say it's a dream job. I'd say it's more something that we're kind of forced to do because society hates us and women hate us. Messed up at the microwave, dino rugs, or an oven-baked meal? Ah, okay. See, even Asunder knows how to cook better than her.
Brendan Leo won $59,000 on Jeopardy, and he has a
Oh,
master's
so that's why he called them Roos, because they think that they're at the top of the house. Okay, I think I understand that.
degree in political science, but he's unemployed. Grow up, get a job, get a wife, build a family.
Just get a wife, bro. Just get a job, bro.
Get a job? Yeah, just get a job. Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into job land?
All right,
We're
I understand
jobs
now.
growing jobbies.
The term welfare queen must have fell out of fashion with Republicans, because it seems even they know the approved safe demographic to go after now. Because it's very obvious what demographic they are talking about when they say young men in their basements playing video games. This just get a job lazy attitude is not surprising, but it's especially funny coming from Fox News of all places. Fox News that spends so much time yapping about immigrants taking American jobs. Fox News will talk.
Oh wow, all the immigrants are taking the jobs. Meanwhile, on the other hand, guys, why aren't you getting the jobs? And they can never put two and two together. I wonder why.
For years about how Americans are being screwed out of the work.
I mean, they kind of got done in by the boomers, not gonna lie. Everything that happened in the 60s led to what the millennials are now. And the fruits of that is the total destruction of tradition and culture. The blue-haired, they, them, millennials that are writing all of these dog water articles and video games and being Reddit mods, that is exactly due to everything that happened back after World War II. Back in the boomer days, etc. Zoomers not that bad? No, we're still chilled. I take it back. Only in America. Mo's loves to dump on America. It's hilarious.
Workforce. But when this issue manifests itself in Gen Z, suddenly it's a moral failure. The fact is, a lot of American jobs held by men are being lost to automation, offshoring, and yes, cheap foreign labor. Companies and billionaires would rather have cheap labor that they can essentially abuse, not pay fair wages to, just good little worker drones who won't unionize, rather than hire American workers for a living wage. The cheaper the labor they hire, the more money they make. I remember when Bernie Sanders called open borders a Koch brothers conspiracy.
Open borders?
Open borders.
That's a Koch brothers proposal, which says essentially there is no United States.
But it would make a lot of the global poor richer, wouldn't it?
Say something about the blue-haired Reddit mod. Is Reddit mod with a model that has blue hair? I don't have blue hair. It's purple, okay? Just saying. And I ain't a they thems. I'm a 9-ya.
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Where'd that guy go? A lot of these jobs being taken.
I feel like Bernie just got so betrayed by the Democrat Party. He's like, I did disagree with him on a lot of things, but he's like the only guy that seems somewhat reasonable on that side. Sometimes I think the Russians are onto something. With what? Socialism and communism? Nope. Gauge truth.
Are jobs traditionally held by men like construction and factory jobs, manual labor work. But it's not just manual labor jobs, it's also the tech industry and business industry, which are careers also mainly held by men. There are many, many examples of this, such as Microsoft recently cutting thousands of
And now they're going to be jobless.
American workers while requesting 14,000 more H-1B workers this year.
So they're literally firing Americans and importing Indians to work instead because the labor's cheaper. Orthodox Church has an appeal. Fair point. Not much of an appeal to me, considering I'm a based independent fundamental Baptist. But but hey, better Orthodox than no church, in my opinion. And apparently, they're getting buddy-buddy with the Catholics once again. Maybe the Great Schism might finally come to an end and we'll see peace between the two sides.
Some of those job positions include data scientists, which are 70% men, software developers, which are 80% men.
How about this? All IT guys are actually men. Hot take.
And electronic engineers, which are 90% men, and many more like that.
Well,
another example of this was Tesla, where roughly 15,000 American employees were fired in April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders.
Yep.
On Twitter, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy tried to chalk this up to these immigrants just simply being the best and the brightest. Yeah, okay. You're paying them less for longer hours and more work, and they're willing to deal with it in order to stay in the country. It's coercive, exploitative, and, dare I say, not very America first. When conservatives confronted Elon Musk for this last year, he told somebody, and I quote, "Take a big step back and yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend." So when it comes to
screw Elon Musk, this guy. That guy's crazy. Apparently he's a socialist, which is omega gay. I do not like socialism. Socialism and communism has absolutely ruined my country. Don't let him ruin yours, guys. Let's all become immigrants to get a job. I wish, man.
Placing American workers in
just
manual labor
ticket is out
with
of my
cheap
reach.
foreign labor, it's
really
deport.
Nice.
But when it comes to replacing his American workers with cheap foreign labor, it's yourself in the face. Interesting. There's also
billionaire hypocrisy never gets old.
Affirmative action and DEI, which are other things Fox News always pisses and shits about. But suddenly, when the conversation is about Gen Z men, the demographic of people who are victims of these things, suddenly these things just like don't exist anymore. Then it's, oh, young men are just lazy.
Hassan? No. Close enough. But it's actually Elon Musk. I'm pretty sure he's a billionaire, not a millionaire.
They just want to be in their parents' basement, ordering DoorDash and playing video games.
That's because I'm such a communist, make it bad.
But it's not just...
No, it's all these digital communists that make it bad. Communism has never, ever worked. It always has problems.
The brown people taking your jobs. I am not beating the allegations with this one. The brown people are not taking your jobs, okay? It's not their fault. They're just cheaper. Aim upwards. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. It's the women, too. Many of the dying industries are male-dominated, while many of the growing industries...
Work in quotation marks. I'm willing to bet a couple of bucks that all ain't as rosy as you make it out to be. All the billionaires like socialism until they realize the government owns a company and that's illegal not to. Yep.
Industries are female-dominated, and stigma around these jobs being woman jobs usually stops men from working them. Women are overwhelmingly entering and excelling in college and the workforce, and they're more flexible about job position and pay, while young men usually hold out for higher-paying, higher-position jobs that
let's all become brown and black and get a job. Unironically, would actually benefit me here in South Africa.
Will make them the breadwinner. Because you see, despite the world progressing and the role of women changing, the role of men has not changed. Every woman is a feminist until the dinner bill comes. But what's crazy is women might be the ones paying that dinner bill soon. A study from the UK found women aged 22 to 29 earned about 1,000 more annually than men, completely reversing the traditional gender pay gap for this age group.
$1,000 more? Damn, I want that $1,000. I'm being called a dude who did blackface. What?
In the US, a 2022 Pew Research Center analysis showed that women under 30 out-earned men in many metropolitan areas, with
Is this for like the same job and same hours? If so, that's crazy.
Median earnings at or above 100% of men's in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. That may not sound like a lot of money now, but it's a growing trend that has never been seen before. It's so bad that it's really starting to affect the dating world. American women have never been this resigned to staying single. They are responding to major demographic shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political affiliation, and beliefs about what family should look like. More women than men are attending college, buying houses, and focusing on their friendships and careers over dating and marriage.
Why am I called racist for trying to look black for employment? You're just using modern solutions for modern problems. I wouldn't say it's blackface. I wouldn't say it's bad.
Challenges of finding a romantic partner have been made more complicated by a
you gotta play the game.
Growing divide in education and career prospects between men and women. In 2024, 40% of American women ages 25 to 34 had a bachelor's degree, according to Pew, compared to 37% of men. A bachelor's degree increases net lifetime earnings by an estimated $1 million.
I wish my degree did that.
Women are doing comparatively well when it comes to education in their early years in the labor force, and men are doing comparatively badly. Men's economic struggles seem to be having the biggest effect on women.
Only in America, there's probably European countries that suffer from this too.
Without a college degree, whose marriage rates by 45 have plummeted to 52% for those born between 1930 and 1980, according to research by Cornell University. Young men without a degree are struggling so much as a group that there simply aren't enough with steady jobs and earnings for non-college women to date. Men are poor, women most affected. Modern
Bro, complete utter retardation take right there. In EU countries, it's even worse, I can imagine. If the EU has fallen, America is falling, but you know, it's over for you. But hey, you never know. If people get pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, eventually they're going to get radicalized. And they're going to overcorrect the problem. EU is dead? No, hold on. Hear me out. With the whole immigration, the speech censorship laws, the you can imagine, you know, the situation in EU now. All that is pushing the EU to an absolute boiling point. And one day, and it's probably soon, closer than ever, someone is going to decide enough is enough. And they're going to go full-on totalitarian once again. And it's going to be worse than the 40s, trust me.
Women are no longer tied to their gender role. Birth control has...
And this is because whenever there's a problem that gets overlooked or isn't resolved with long enough, there is always an overreaction to solving it. My guy, just look what happens in Greece with the scandals. I don't know anything about Greece, so you're going to have to fill me in. Wait, so you're telling me they make it a gender problem? Could you provide me some context for that? We're fed up to the bone. Or fed to the bone, as in you get a lot of food. The only safe part of Europe is Eastern Europe, pretty much. Apparently, Italy's doing pretty good, but I don't know. I could be mistaken.
Freed them from the prison that is their biology, and they are making their own money, sometimes more than men. They can have it all. They can do anything. They can be anything. While at the same time, men are still expected to be the provider. And more importantly, many men still want...
Napoleon and Austrian painter happened because of a country getting that bad, exactly. He knows exactly what's up. And it's going to be even worse because it's not going to be just one country. There's going to be multiple countries that are going to go that route. And their solution is to hire people based on gender. You should never hire based on gender. Unless it's a role that calls specifically for the gender. And I'll give you a good example. If you're, say, trying to adapt a novel into a movie and the main character is female, that is a clear indication or a clear example of when you should hire based on gender. You're going to want female applicants only. However, for example, if you want someone who wants to be, say, what's a good one? Male stripper? No. Jeez. You want someone to be a financial advisor. Their gender should not even matter remotely. Because it sounds like they can do that. Stands of a DI. No, you should never do that. It's just bad. You're just going to cause problems in your country.
Want to be the provider, but they can't. And women, though strong and independent, still want men to be the provider.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if needed.
Black, is that more racist? In 99.999% of all cases, yes. As I said, there are exceptions. Like, you know, if you're hiring someone to merchandise your floor, if you choose the black guy because he's black over, say, the Indian guy, that's racism. But if you're, say, trying to adapt a novel for a movie and the main character's black, you're going to want to hire a black guy. Because you're being faithful to the source material. However, in most other cases, it's just racism. Same with women? Yes. We call that sexism.
Be that will protect me, protect my family, make money.
Basically, men are like, we're worried we're not making enough money. And women are like, we're worried men are not making enough money. Hello class, I am Miss On Head.
Bro, she looks so much like my teacher. Oh no. We're actually in the classroom now.
I am substituting for your teacher today. She was arrested for molesting a 12-year-old boy.
Wait, what? Bro, American teachers are scary.
So today we are learning about the graph.
Growth in productivity and hourly compensation. And it started when? 70s, just after the 60s. I told you guys, all of your modern problems starts about the 60s and it takes effect during the 70s. And also, if I'm not mistaken, it was about the 1970s when they took America off the gold standard. But yeah, all of it started in the 60s and you started to see the effect in the 70s. And once you got into like the 2000s, everything became bad.
This is the growth in productivity versus hourly compensation graph. And you can trace almost everything bad happening in society.
Yeah, but like 20 years after World War II. Where all of the sexual revolution started and nonsense like that.
Back to this graph. As you can see, productivity increased while compensation barely grew over the same time period. Notice they tracked very closely up until around 1972.
That year looks familiar? Yeah, I wonder what happened that year.
72. Now, what happened around 1972, class? Well, the top marginal tax rate was reduced from 70%.
They needed to prepare the whole scam? Yep.
In 1964 to 50% by 1981.
Told you, started in the 60s.
The federal minimum wage began to stagnate. Income going to the 1% rose from 9% in the 60s to 16% in 2023.
See, started in the 60s. What did I tell you?
CEOs also went from making 20 times more than the average worker to making 350 times more than the average worker. Anything else? Anything else happen?
I know the exact problems, guys. And if you want me to get rid of them, make me Kaiser. And I'm gonna make certain nations great again. Trust me on this one.
Around 1972?
I can solve all your problems.
Yes, Jimmy, that is correct. Women joined the workforce around this time, but...
Wow, jeez. And I wonder why that happened. Because of something in the 60s.
We don't have to get into that today. The fact is, hard work no longer guarantees success, and the will to work is tied to the fruits of your labor. And young men are fed up today because 90% of that fruit is rotten. Now, is there some...
It's more like 95, maybe even 99.
Truth to modern young people being lazy? Sure, I guess. Every generation has...
No, I'm not gonna cause more war, don't worry. It's different if they cause war on me and then I retaliate, but I'm not gonna start wars. But you're gonna bet yourself there's gonna be some massive reforms.
Lazy people. And we do basically live in late-stage mouse utopia, after all. Young people today are faced with...
I believe that was an experiment where, I think it was, they put a whole bunch of mice in an enclosed space, and once the population got too big, some scary stuff started to happen.
Two options. Revolution or escapism. And a lot of them are choosing escapism. Many have basically given up, but it's not like they didn't try. They tried, and they found out the juice just isn't worth the squeeze.
The what isn't worth the squeeze?
It's not like they didn't try. They tried, and they found out the juice just...
Oh, the juice! Okay, so like fruit juice, okay.
Isn't worth the squeeze.
I had to make sure,
dating, or the job market. And in a way, many young men are kind of choosing revolution. The never-before-seen large shift rightward in young men is a small revolution in a way. They're saying, this isn't working for me, this sucks, I hate this, I want something different. This is also manifesting on the Democrat side in general. The young men...
Oh no, no, I didn't say it was that. I just had to make sure that I heard correctly.
That are still voting left are voting further left. You saw this recently in New York City, where Zohran Mamdani, a self-proclaimed Democratic socialist, won the...
Clips, that's 9!
Democratic primary. Young men are tired of the establishment, left and right. They're tired of the system, and they want to burn it down and start again. They want...
And it's going to keep getting worse. Until eventually, one guy who gets kicked out of art school is going to want to really burn down everything.
Something that works for them, because this is not working for them.
If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with 4-year college degrees and like initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism?
Because they feel like they get more out of it.
Huh. Fox News should hire that guy. There is an entire generation of fighting-aged men who are enraged and feel like they have nothing...
Because hard work doesn't get them anywhere, so they just want free gibs from the government. This time will be gender studies school. Oh no.
...to live for. You should probably start caring. When they saw this airing on Fox News, they saw an angry woman nagging in their faces about how everything wrong in the world is their fault. An all too familiar thing they have been hearing for far too long. But unfortunately for Democrats, nobody under the age of 60 watches Fox News, so this is not really going to have an effect on young men whatsoever. So keep that $20 million. You might still need it. Unless we get dragged into another war in the Middle East. If we do get dragged into another war in the Middle East, young men might come running back to the Democratic Party. Maybe not. Maybe not even a George Bush II electric boogaloo will have men coming back to the Democratic Party. Hopefully we don't find out. And as I'm editing this right now, a lot of young people, even the podcast bros, seem pretty upset about the Epstein thing, but we know Democrats won't take advantage of the situation in order to protect the Clintons, so maybe not even this will save them, but...
And the Republicans ain't leaking it out because they know that the moment they do, they're gonna get exposed as well.
We'll see, I guess. Hold on one second.
Much better.
That's better. So that...
It's like we share the same brain cell.
That was that video. What do you think of the male loser epidemic? Do you agree?
Low-key, most people I talk to want to go to the war in the Middle East, but why? Why would you do that? Why would you go to fight a war that's not your problem, that you never started?
With Tommy Lauren? Is it all men's fault? Leave your comments below.
I can't tell the difference between Republican and Democrat. One is getting screwed over, the other one is crazy. And getting screwed over. There's a reason why paid opposition is a meme.
Read them all. I am probably reading them right now as you type them. Wait, don't write that. No, you can't say that. No, it doesn't matter if it's with an A. If you like this video, please subscribe. And if you can, donate to me on Patreon or leave a little tip with the little tip jar down below.
I'll leave a like.
Leave it a little heart. It helps the channel and I appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys again soon with a new video, a new slop video.
Oh yeah, more slop.
Love that shit. Bye!
Alright, that was awesome. I like that.